This is Stephen B. Those Leatherworks. Today's projects are these beautiful Alden boots. We've got some Indies. We've got some cigar shell split toes. We've got some black cordovan jumpers. And we've got another pair of Indies. All right, with these Indies right here, we're going to do a 360 welt conversion. We're going to do JR soles and mini Vibram lugs, recessed edges, Thomas heels, leather heel bases, and dime dark brown. All right, number two. These are the cigar shell split toes. We're going to convert these also to 360 split welt, black leather split welt, leather midsoles, and Vibram 430 soles. Okay. The third pair here, these are the black tanker boots. Now you're not going to see much difference in visually here. We're going to change the size of this one. We're going to make it a little bit wider. We're going to keep the 270-degree welt on there. Just resole them with JR soles. Now, number four, these are the Indies. This one, we're going to take in the back. The customer has marked how much he wants to take these in. This is going to be a chore because you've got to completely disassemble the entire boot to change the size from the back as the customer's request. All right, let's get started. It always hurts a little when you're taking a brand new pair of boots apart. Now the reason we started with this pair here, because we have to dye this one dark brown. So we need to wait for the dye to dry. So we'll take this one apart first. We'll dye it, put it aside while we work on the other ones. That way it'll give us a chance for this to dry and continue the process. So now remember, this is a 270-degree welt, which starts from one ankle bone all the way to the other ankle bone. We're going to make it a 360, which goes all the way around the back of the heel. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to add this is called a gemming, okay? This is what the welt and the uppers are stitched to. So we're going to have to add it all the way around the back of the heel and make some adjustments to the back of the heel counter, trim that down so we can have a nice welt going all the way around. There we have our 360 Gemming on the footbed. Cool. So first we're going to wipe this down with a little bit of thinner. I think the customer tried to add something to this to darken the stitches. And it's not really a dye because it looks like it's just sitting on the surface. So all that's got to be removed first. Then we're going to use a little bit of acetone to clean the surface a little deeper so we can add some dye to the pores of the leather. All right, so let me show you guys a little something. This is 000 steel wool. Okay, we've got our turpentine in there. I'm sorry, acetone. We're taking that finish off. Don't have to scrub too hard. Just enough so the dye can penetrate into the pores of the leather. All right, so we got number 2 here. Now, you guys see the markings in the back right there? Now, the customer said he wanted to take the back end to those marks. So, I mean, this is very complicated to do that, even though it's minor areas in the back. It's like taking your car to an auto repair shop and putting marks in the back saying that, hey, can you make my car a little smaller? Well, there's a lot of There's a lot of work that would go into something like that structurally to make it smaller. Same with his boot. You've got to disassemble it, just about everything, to get to that area where you can take it in and then reassemble everything back, make it look like it hasn't been taken apart. So it's a bit of a chore, and I decided to take it on. I just thought it was a good challenge to try to see if I can accomplish this, and we'll see what happens. Let's continue. Now, along with that resizing, we're going to upgrade him on a couple of the components. One is being the fiberboard heel base. We'll add a leather one. Also, the midsole is fiberboard. We're going to put a leather one on that also. But we're going to reuse his heel, the top lift here. But we can't reuse the sole. The sole, once it comes off, you're not going to be able to reuse it again. So that's all trash. And we're going to put a new welt on because I got to re-welt the whole thing. I mean, it's just, you've got to disassemble the whole thing, the whole shoe, to get to the back of the heel. Because that's almost the beginning phase of making the boot. So in order to change that structurally, you've got to take it back to, the way it was in the beginning stages of it. So that's what we're going to do. Again, man, it's a shame we're going to have to cut this down. I mean, we're going to just tear it apart, cut it, stitch it. God, brand new boots. It is what it is. Hey, customer's request, We're going to get it done for him. Now, one thing I want to show you guys real quick here. With some of the Alden Indy boots, right here, the separation gets to be about too much, where the heel, back of the heel to the heel rand, there's always like a gap there, right? Not always, I shouldn't say always. So sometimes what we've done in the past to remedy that is to nail it from the inside to secure that back. Well, when I do soles, I make sure I nail them from here to secure the sole to the footbed. But after the factory's been done, there's a gap there. The solution would be is sticking some nails. Now, somebody has done that here. Let me show you guys. They've added those nails right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 nails to secure the footbed back, cinching to the soles. It didn't do much of a job because you still got a gap there. So all that will be fixed once I take care of that. So that's got to be cut right there. The thread's got to be cut. We'll cut the leather a little bit, the same distance as those, then re-stitch it back together. And then this goes back on there. Now you just change the size of the boot. But before that, you got to, disassemble everything, unfortunately. Brand new boot. Just to take that in just a little bit in the back. You got to do the same with the lining, because lining and the outer shell are got to be equal distance to each other, so they're the same width when it goes onto when we put it all back together. So whenever we go and rethread a machine, for example, where we've got a brown thread now, okay, if we want to put a put a lighter color thread like a yellow or a white color thread, we cut it off right here, tie it together, and we pull the old thread and the new thread comes out and we put it through the needle. Now that's about 3-foot thread right there that you have, okay? So what we do with that, this is what we do with it. Every sewing machine has a pile like this, just kind of dangling on the little nail. So I saved those about 3-foot threads for hand stitching stuff. Now we need a white for the back of the boot. So we've got white thread for hand stitching. So a lot of recycling that goes on in this business. So just thought I'd share that with you all. So manufacturers have machines who do this stitching. It's just a regular, like a sewing machine that stitches zigzags like that. But I do not have that machine, so basically we're going to have to hand stitch it back together. It'll be alright. Once it gets done, this will be covered. She should be good to go. All right, we've got the back piece stitched in. Now if you look here, these were the original stitches here, and these are the new ones. That's how much we took it in. Maybe I'd say about a little over 3/8 of an inch, which is going to make a big difference in the fit around the heel. Now we'll do the same thing with the lining, because they need to be both the same size. The top is the same, just the bottom seam here. We'll take that in a little bit. That way it's the same size. All right, let's continue. All right, we've got number 3. Man, brand new boots. Oh boy, breaking my heart over and over again. We still got number 4, which is the cigar shell split toe. That's gonna be a tearjerker, let me tell you. All right. So this one, we're going to change the footbed and then add new welts. Same welt, flat welt. JR soles, Triumph tips, solid brass tips. Again, we're going to give them an upgrade. This is the heel rand. This is fiberboard. We're going to change it to leather fiberboard, leather midsole, and leather heel bases. Then we'll do a we'll do dovetail heels, and he wants the bottom to be just a basic, like a natural color, nothing really fancy. The important thing is the fit. We're going to try to make these a little bit wider than what they are. We're going for, this is a 10.5 D as in David. We're going to go to 10.5 E as in Echo. So not much difference, but believe it or not, a little bit does make a difference. Come on now. Like they stitched over it twice. This welt is put on with a chain stitch, so if you undo 1 or 2, it'll continue to come off. Except right there, it looked like they had done something there. Voila! And here, oh, glass almost shot. You got to be careful when that falls out, falls on your foot. You're done. You are done for. So that's fairly easy to take apart. Putting it back together is a trick. All right, let's continue. Look at these staples. Man, I hate these staples. Look how many we got. God, that's only on one side. The other side has them too. Look at that. Oh, Lord. A lot of nails. Okay. All right, that is the footbed, which we're going to replace with a wider one. Obviously, we'll put a new gemming on there. All right. Woohoo, we are making progress. Oh my God. Oof. You guys know how rare this is? It's pretty rare. And we're going to tear up a $1,200 shoe. Well, maybe not 1,200. Maybe about $950. $950. We're going to put a leather split welt, black leather split welt, leather midsole, and Vibram 430 soles. Yes, you heard that correctly. Vibram 430 soles. Also change it, convert it to a 360 welt. It's 270 now. It's going to be 360, just like the other ones. It's a matter of just starting right at the end here. Again, it's a chain stitch. And once you undo that end of the chain stitch, it should all come loose. Well, I say that, but that doesn't mean that it works all the time on camera. Come on, don't make me look bad. The hell, man. Well, it's not coming off in one piece. It's okay. I'm more stubborn than the welt is. They're basically same construction, you know. Oh my goodness. It's not every day that we turn a brand new shoe, tear it apart. It's actually fun. Heartbreaking, but it's fun. All right, shoe is apart. All right, so this is back to the other one with the wider footbed. Basically, we're just going to glue it on temporarily here. Okay. And that's it. This will be ready. Ready for welting. All right, so this one here, since we're going to do a 360 welt, we're going to have to extend the gemming on back so we can continue the welt all the way around. It's a matter of just overlapping about ½ an inch of gemming. Oh, there should be. All right, so we are to a point where we're going to stitch on some welts. Everything's been taken apart, clean and dyed. This one we took in the back. Okay. This one we changed the footbed. And this one we made the footbed into a 360 re-welt. So now we get to stitch on welt and continue this process. Let's continue. Oh my goodness. Look what we got. I left these last night and I come in this morning, the welt is on them. What the heck? Oh, look, the heel rand is there. Oh my God, this one's got a heel rand too. Wow. I know who it was. Yeah, I bet you I know who it was. I knew it. Well, thank you, fellas. I appreciate your help. You're a gentleman and scholar. All right, so on the first pair, we're going to do JR soles, but unfortunately, the sucker is wide. We're going to have to cut it from the bend. Now these leathers in the bend are very tough. Say hi there, buddy Louie.
Hello.
Gotta bend that a little bit. So it looks like the rest of the 3 pairs are going to require midsoles, but unfortunately they're way too wide and big. My luck, they're all large size feet. And we're going to cut them out of this Black Forest hide. This is the cousin of JR, a little lesser quality when it comes to the German oak bark leather. However, it's still a durable leather that we use for soles. And it's thin enough where we can use it as a midsole. We'll have to thin it down a little bit more. It's a little bit too thick to add it with the soles, but we'll thin that down a little bit. So now we get to use this as a midsole and continue our project. Even though it's a thin leather, this sucker is tough too. This is very good leather. We got Mr. Lewis here helping us out today. Mr. Lewis, I see you smirking. Come on, look in the camera, say hello.
Hello.
He's usually not this quiet when the camera's off. What you doing, brother?
Trying to glue the soles so we can get these finished.
Nice. You doing good? The other way.
Trying.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, trying, brother.
You're doing all right. Keep up the good work.
Okay.
I appreciate your help.
Anytime.
All right. Hammer time. Time is it, Lulu?
Hammer time.
These suckers are huge, man. All right, this one, the cigar shell is going to get a fiberglass shank. Fiberglass shank. Some customers they travel a lot and they don't want the hassle of going through the metal detector with a metal shank. They'll ask to replace it with a fiberglass. And that's what we're doing. Now this pair right here came with the Neo cork sole, which Alden uses that rubber with the cork filled. Now on the Vibram 700 soles, what we do is we flip it upside down and we have our Neo cork soles. Basically we sand that pattern off and we glue it on upside down, and that becomes our Neo cork soles. All right, so these are called Thomas heels or orthopedic heels. Now the reason they have a little bit of a curvature here is because this side is on the inside of the heel. It gives you arch support. Now these are made out of fiberboard, so these are trash. Oi! Okay, so what we're gonna do here, we've got a sheet of leather. We are gonna cut 12 pieces. Each heel has 3 layers. So 3, 3, 3, and 3. That's 2 pairs. And once it gets assembled, it'll be a nice, solid, stacked heel. Much better than what the manufacturer's done. All right, let's continue. All right, so after we cut and we glue them down, this is what it looks like. Now the reason we cut the insert out because we want that to be curved a little bit. Now the finished product will look just like that. All right, let's continue. All right, so you guys remember that gap on the side earlier at the beginning of the video? We had talked about how there's always a gap there. Not always, sometimes. So, I know this is an overkill, but you're not going to have a problem with separation once my job gets done. And that's how that's done. All right, welcome back. We are done with another few projects. Let me tell you, this was a lot of work with these lot of little intricate details. Every customer had its own request of how they wanted their boots to look like. All right, so let's take a look, see what we have. The cigar shells was $850. The black shells, jumpers, was $730. This one here, this one was $905. This one in the back, the one, I think that was the most difficult one that I had to go through. Now, I talked to the customer and we agreed on $1,200. I know sometimes you get sticker shock, but that was a lot of, there was a lot of taking apart to get to that little area to take in. I literally had to disassemble the entire shoe just to get to those areas. So overall, all of them turned out great. I'm very happy with them. And I think the customers will be happy too, because it's exactly what they requested and it's exactly what I did. All right, so if you guys have any questions, please email me. When you do email me, ask your question with pictures so we don't go back and forth 5 emails before you get to the point. I'm pretty backlogged with work. This is December. I've shut down the shop for incoming customers, walk-ins, because I've got to catch up with my backlogged work. But mail-in work is okay. You can mail stuff in. I just need to lock the door and turn off the phones just to get some work done and to catch up with all this mess. All right, well, thank you again. I appreciate you guys joining me. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thumbs up, share, comment, all that good stuff. And I appreciate you. We'll see you guys on the next project. Take care.